Good morning, guys. What's going on in Steve-O's world? We're having so much fun, guys, I'm telling you. Check out my pallet. My pallet wood. I was sick of buying. Remember me telling you I'm sick of buying Joe's high-end plywood? Sick of the gas prices too, aren't you? Your face is dirty. Just a minute. Let me buff you out here. There you are. You're such beautiful people. I had to get a good look at you, you know. Yeah, you remember me telling you the plywood's crazy prices? Well, guess what? I'm making free tops. Here's the plugs. I don't even paint these. I assemble these right quick to save those plugs. And then I just cut pallet wood pieces for the back, so I scored a little Bondtite on it and hit it with a brad nailer, my $15 Harbor Freight brad nailer. And then I let them sit overnight, let that glue dry, and then I just open my 5-gallon bucket of Tall Earth preservative and drop them in there. Plunge them down, pull them out, throw them on the slab. Same thing with this. You just stick it just goes right inside a bucket. So that's the 5-frame nuke tops. Yeah, one side's nice and flat, see? Yeah, so simple. And I found a trick, guys. Let me tell you a little trick on this one. See, I've got my saw set up with a fence. You set your fence up. I'm cutting these roughly 8 inches. There's a little bit of extra box here. None of these boxes are exactly, you know, true. They're true on the inside because of the fact that I'm running 2x8 here, and this comes up to I think 7 1/4, whatever it is. There's just enough room, just enough play. You drop 5 frames in this puppy. There's just enough room here to get this thing in and out. Those 2x8s are excellent for this ends. And as you know, these ends are 10 inches high, 10 inches. So I start at the top. I just set these up on a bench here and lay them on their side. Lay these ends on their side, and I grab my pallet wood pieces. So you can see a pile of them here. I'm creating more here, and I'm going to show you a cool trick on this here in a second. And what I do, start at the top here, see, because you want that nice and flush, and you work your way down. Have your tools rigged like this, so you've got a screw gun and a pilot hole tool here. Get DeWalt, you'll love it. 20 bolt, oh, it's kicking ass, baby. Yeah, and these sides here, I've been shooting 2-inch decks through here. It's a little overkill, but it's fine. Yeah, so anyway, what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm going to start grafting here soon. Let me get back to this lip here for a second. Yeah. These sides are 21 5/16. 21 5/16. So you can see that fits on there. But at 8 inches, I've set this up for 8 inches. It's not exactly. Some are wider, some are right, or not, whatever. But 8 inches is a nice happy number. But what trick I found on these things, come over here for a second. When I'm laying these out, I put 2 boards down here, pallet wood boards. When I'm constructing these, let me show you something here. And I take 2 pieces and throw up here of this pallet wood material. You want 2 fairly good edges here. And you stick it up here. The reason I got it up off here, so I can get a clamp on it. And you come over here, and you get a pair of these Harbor Freight clamps. These are cheap. Harbor Freight. I love that store, guys. I love it. So that way I can do this, see. clamp them up. So I run a stand-up board up. I stand a board up. I shoot a bead of Bond-Tight 3 down through there, and I drop it down and shove the other one up. I was using these clamps, all right? Instead of tying up a bunch of clamps, not necessary. Cut some, run through your table saw and cut you some pallet wood material so you could cut this one like in half and cut these 8 inches. All right? Put your glue on there and have your brad nailer your $15 brad nailer, by the way, Harbor Freight. Again, we love these people. I ought to be a spokesman for Harbor Freight, I tell you guys, I love them. So what you're gonna do is squeeze that up by hand, drop these on, take your brad nailer, on this particular one I've got 1.25 inches, and go bap bap, pull it up tight, bap bap, so forth and so on. Done. Flip this over, and you might have some little deviation here. Take your hammer and tap these flush, so you have a nice flat bottom. You don't care too much here. This could be different sizes, but don't get too get it close. Get 2 fairly compatible boards here, okay? So you don't have too much deviation here, because you're putting these on. Then you come over here with your brad nails and you set it down. Come back in 24 hours and then put in your screws in there. And now I'm gonna and then let it set for 24. Come back, put your tall earth on it. Come back in 24 and paint these things. All right. Very cool way to make a top. Free top, by the way. That was cool tip, Steveo tip number 1. Cool tip Steveo number 2 tip for the day is harvesting pallet wood. Oh yeah. Martin and I are always bouncing ideas off each other. And he said, Steveo, when you're harvesting this wood, I watched your video and you're kind of busting your ass there. And I said, am I? He said, yes, you are. I said, okay. Easier is better, and I like better, easier. He said, if you got a chainsaw, Steveo, take and run a chainsaw right through here. And I got away from guys because of that tool. You see the length of this that goes up underneath. If you get the real wide boards, normally I put a real wide board at this end one here, so I don't get them anymore. I don't get those anymore. I look for the ones that are like spaced out like with smaller boards. It's much easier to deal with, and try to find them as close as you can, 3/4, 5/8 thickness. Some of them are really thin, but I got 3 pallets today. I already took one apart, the Martin way, okay? He said, take a chainsaw and buzz it right here. Buzz it over there. Now it's just attached here. Then you take a hammer and do the same to the bottom, all right? Take your skill saw, and I've had to hold it back, hold the lever back, the guard. And be careful with this, because you got a blade flying. You don't want to jump off and get a good handle on this thing. You don't want it jumping off and cutting your leg off. And I was plunge cutting them. I found if I just went down through here with a skill saw, it would bind. So I'm not doing that. I'm coming straight down with my skill saw. Plunge, 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 plunge. Same over there. Now it's just attached to here, right? Now when you flip this over and you do the same to this bottom, normally you've only got like 3 boards down there, right? Get your feet back out from under here, because this is a fairly heavy 2x4 with these boards hanging on. When you cut it loose, it's going to fall straight down on your foot. And ask me how I know that one, okay? Ask me how I know that. Yeah, can hurt your foot, so don't do that. Yeah, and then what you're going to do is you need to get your tool in here on top of one of these this runner that's here. These are gone now, right? These are gone. And they're right there. Guess where they're heading? To the dump. I get free dumping, by the way. No charging for dumping, all right? So this is so cool that when you knock this board off, now you've got room to get your tool in. You pop, 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 and it's nothing, guys. Just, you could do it with 2 fingers. Boom, this center part. When you've got all 3 of these points nailed, you are jerking and snatching and sweating, okay? I'm in this nice cool shop here. I got 2 fans blowing on me. I'm processing wood like, I mean, I could go through 15 of these pallets, guys, and not be wore out. If I did it my old way, I'd be sweating like a butcher out here. But the Martin way of cutting these is great. Now, you cut your portions. Now, the side rails on those are 21 5/16, all right? We've got another project happening here. Let me show you this one. This is going to be cool tip number 3 for the day. You're going to love it. Okay, cool tip 3, number 3 for the day. We're going to make Fowler boards. And if you're not familiar with what a Fowler board is, it's a board that you can drop in here. It's going to have a top bar on it. I'm making a top bar, guys, out of pallet wood. Okay, these here are already cut, pre-cut, but all this wood here I'm fixing to process today. I'm going to make, as you can see here, this is a 3/4. This is a 3/4 cut here, and here. This is basically a 3/4 piece of wood right here. What I'm going to do is set my saw up. Here's a nice straight edge, and I've decided I'm going to make my top bar for these foul boards the width of this ruler, just for quick layout on my table saw. Okay, and they're going to be cut 19 7/8 in here. All right, so I'm going to have a top bar that just drops in there and sits on this ledge and is pretty much even with this top here. Okay, the whole reason behind this is we can set up mating nukes for, we can utilize our 5-frame boxes, right? This is going to be cool, guys. Stay with me on this. We're going to have our 5-frame nuke boxes. We're going to turn them into mating nukes, 2-framers. Now you're going to just say, Steve, you just got rid of a whole crap load of 2-framers. You gave them to Martin. I said, yes. And I'm going to say, yes, I did. I don't want a bunch of flipping extra equipment around. With this program right here, okay, stay with me, guys. With this program right here, I've only got 1 size box. Let's burn out a gajillion of these boxes, okay? These boxes are beautiful. Only 1 box. We can accommodate queen mating boxes with very few resources. You're going to be putting 2 frames in here. You're going to be stealing brood, a food frame, and a brood frame with some brood in it to support this little mini colony you're creating, right? You've got this door here. You've got 2 flaps here. Full open is 1 1/4. Take one of these up, it's a 1/2 inch. Just pull one of these up until she's mated. We're going to drop a Fowler board in over here and one over here. All right, now I'm going to set up my saw this 1 1/4, same width as this, and I'm going to burn these strips off. I'm then going to cut them 19 7/8, and it'll drop right in here with very little slop. I'm going to take that top bar, stick it in this vise. All right, I am then going to take pallet wood. Okay, I'm going to cut pallet wood on the inside here, it's going to be 18 inches. That'll give me just a little slop, not enough slop to get a bee around this corner here, okay? Those are going to get stood up. I'm going to lock them into the vise as I construct these. I'm thinking about constructing them right in this vise. Put my top bar in, take my 18-inch piece that goes here, run a bead of glue, bond tight, set it in that mud, eyeball it distance from each end. You don't have to be super accurate. And then brad nail it on a 45 on the ends. Come up, bead of glue, take your next pallet, set it here, push it down in the mud, blap, blap. Get it built, make sure it's over the height of this. This is 10 inches. Set your saw blade up, which I've already got my fence as permanent on there. It's a permanent, I got a permanent fence that burns out this 10-inch. So when I'm building these, I do the same thing. I let extra material hang out, whatever it is. I let them cook for 24 hours. Let that glue set. Actually, I'm not even doing that anymore because I'm not gluing these anymore. I'm not gluing them. But these follower boards I'm going to need to glue for the simple fact all I'm doing is holding them together with a 1.25 inch brad nail at each end. So that will come in. My piece coming down will be like so, and I'll shoot it in on the end with a brad nail. I'll show you some of these when we get done building them here, but I just wanted to throw these little ideas out at you. I'm going to be making a lot more of these during the summer. I'm going to start grafting once I get Martin's order out of here to head to Michigan. Then I'll set up and really pump up a strong, I've got a black Caucasian queen out here that I'm hoping that I can go ahead and I want to burn a bunch of copies of her, probably 50 or more copies of her, and get a bunch of these nooks started. But I can get them started with 2 frames, okay? And I can do it in the same yard. Just load the frames, keep the door shut for 3 days. On the 3rd morning, open it. These bees will stay in here. And then I can pull a virgin out of my incubator, spritz these with sugar water, and release her in here. And on the 3rd day that these bees have been trapped in here, I will come and open that up. And by then, she'll be strong enough to go on her mating flight. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today, guys. I'm burning out some of this stuff, and so simple to do. This is so simple to do with that tool over there, pallet wrecker, and you're only breaking off, you're only popping out the center portion of nails. And then I've got my gun here that knocks the nails out. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Be happy, be strong. We got to keep getting her on. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.